I tried. What's up guys, it's Lord of the Cubes, and today I'm going to be talking about a few puzzles that I made a long time ago and never actually made videos about because I have been very burned out over the last few months. So the first puzzle I'm going to be talking about in today's video is the Mixup Pentahedron. You've probably definitely seen this before on YouTube Shorts, or if you saw me at Worlds. This puzzle appears to be pretty much identical to the Shangshao 3-layer pentahedron. It's, face-turning triangular prism in the same way, but with one key difference. This puzzle can shapeshift. Pretty cool, right? I designed this a very long time ago. It was basically built on the mechanism of a floppy pyraminx, just without the tips, and then with some added square one-leg rails on top. You can almost see it in there, that allow for the top and bottom layers to rotate freely. So it's actually a completely different mechanism from the actual 3-layer pentahedron, which uses a mechanism much more similar to a 3x3. And one of the biggest changes I made to my puzzle making style with this puzzle was the use of Oracal stickers. That's right, I finally bought higher quality stickers than the cheap vinyl ones I had been using, and these are awesome. I'm gonna be using these on pretty much all of my puzzles from now on that have like less than 10 colors. Let's compare this to a puzzle I made before Oracal and just see how much more the colors pop. The fluorescent colors are so good. Anyway, yeah, this is my new sticker type of choice. The next puzzle I made was a puzzle that I've wanted to make for a long time, and one that I made as an extension mod, the 2x2 Honeycomb. I made a very large one of these a long time ago as a direct extension mod of the Diansheng 2-layer cheese puzzle. It was massive, didn't turn that well because, it was a Diansheng extension mod. So I wanted to make my own, more reasonably sized one, and this actually turned out much better than the other one. Unfortunately, I no longer have that puzzle to compare to, so you'll just have to take a look for yourself. Also, again, Oracal stickers, so much better. As you can see, the turning is quite good. You can even get a little bit of corner cutting in between these types of cuts. And this puzzle actually uses a very similar mechanism to the one inside the Mixup Pentahedron. In fact, it's the exact same mechanism, except that the middle layer is always going to be bandaged to one side of this puzzle. So I believe it's this corner here that's always going to be bandaged to the middle layer, because otherwise the middle layer could get misaligned from the outside of the puzzle, and, you wouldn't be able to turn it. Even layered big cubes use a similar method of bandaging to avoid having that problem. But anyway, I'm extremely happy with how this turned out. It turns way better than I'd ever thought one of my 3D printed puzzles could. And I've even been speed solving it. One of my times was only 15 seconds. I like to think of this as the Rubik's UFO, but better, because it's, mechanically and functionally the same puzzle in terms of, every piece has a specific spot and orientation, etc. It's just that the Rubik's UFO, extremely hard to turn, especially along these axes here. Why would they make it in this shape? Unfortunately, I recently found out that this puzzle has been made before, so it's not fully original. I built this at least 6 months ago at this point, and only a few days ago I found out that it had been done before, but at the time I thought it was original. And also the puzzle was never named, so I still get to call it the 2x2 Honeycomb. And lastly, the Pentagon-Equal, a puzzle I made simply because it hadn't been made yet. On most puzzles, like square one, hexagon one, etc., the top and bottom layers alternate a pattern of edges and then corners that take up twice as much space as those edges on the circle. So the edges here are 30 degrees, and each corner is 60 degrees. However, for polyhedra with an odd number of sides, this actually does not work. If I did this puzzle would not have a straight line to turn by. This is why many people have attempted to make their own versions of a Pentagon one. But I thought it'd be a fun idea to make a Pentagon-Equal, which just means simple straight cuts like this so it looks like a square one, but all these pieces here actually have the same exact angle of 36 degrees, which means that solving it is much more similar to a square too. And once again, Oracal's awesome. I did put a logo on this. The stickers stick so much better and they just look better. This video is turning more and more into an ad for Oracal, so I'm just gonna cut it short here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it was a shorter one, but I kinda gotta catch up with all the puzzles I've made and haven't told you guys about. If you have any questions about these, make sure to let me know in the comments. And make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm still in a subscriber race with ABCuber, and we are losing badly. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I will be showing off more puzzles that I've made but haven't made full videos on yet in future videos, as well as some very big designs, and I do mean that figuratively and literally, that I am currently working on. And on that note, this is Lord of the Cubes signing off. I'm gonna phase out the like spinning cubes in the outro because this desk doesn't really like work as well with that. So bye.